iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Sporting. It is the Times. CO.za Orlando Pirates 2. Chippa United, Orlando Pirates Light 1. In the Between Premier.
Thank you for that.
There you are. Well done to Orlando Pirates. Last minute winner, Monapule Saleng with the header. I suppose on the balance of probabilities, Orlando Pirates won the game. They were the team that was going to win the game. But at some point, when Andile Jali was there, you would have thought that the Orlando Pirates is the other team, which is Chippa United, because they were very dominant. But however, iskola ngekuthiwa no explanation. Pirates. One Chippa United. So well done to Orlando Pirates. 3 points makes the league a little bit more interesting. However, there are cause for concerns. Lindo Pep, Guardiola, what do you make of the game, sir? Yes, sir.
I think
yes, sir.
Thank you for it. To be honest with you, Nkulego, let's start by saying congratulations to Orlando Pirates.
Absolutely.
For winning the match. Congratulations to Jorge Rivero and his technical team. But for me, Nkulego, big clubs operate like this. You win even when you are not supposed to win the game. Mm-hmm. For me, the performance was 50-50, 60-40. Do they deserve to win the game, in my opinion? I would say maybe no. A draw would have been a fair result. But the last goal, Saleng, last minute, for me, that says character. Psychologically, the team is moving in the right direction. The team is stronger. Individually, players, I feel that they are coming into the party, more especially in the league, because how they start normally in Kulego, we are very critical of them. They normally drop points. It was about to happen again. You know, I'm sure this interview would have been different.
Absolutely.
if it was a 1-1.
Even the people commenting, people being unhappy, the Pirates fans, they would have been unhappy. Even the tone, because I was preparing myself mentally to say, oh, Jesus. I mean, now Sundowns already has a head start over Orlando Pirates, and that's the closest rival they would have had. So it's good. 3 points away at home, first game of the season. That's good for Orlando Pirates.
For me, if they want to win the league in Kulego, 5 games, 15 points in my opinion. Sundowns is a team that will not drop points. We are a point
guys
machine.
Started last season with 11 straight wins.
Yeah, 11 straight wins.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah. And a couple of draws as well. So we don't drop points. So how they start is important, Kolego. And for me, consistent performances from other players. For me, I want to just give credit to Saleng. He scores big goals. The boy, mentally, he struggled, more especially last season. Because of, obviously, there was a hype with him being nominated the player of the season and stuff like that. The boy probably personally, even Noveli Muto is probably struggling from the very same thing. The boy struggled from psychological problems last season. For me, I'm looking at him this season. He started the season very sharp. He listens to the coaches. He's a coachable player. But also, ngithanda ma 1v1 situation wakhe namhlanje absolutely destroyed Umdise namhlanje. Umdise in the Chippa United backline Kulego was a liability. You know, I don't know, every time Bebam isolate to Saleng, but also that's the importance of Dino van Rooyen, which is a player that we'll talk about. Yeah. I think he's the one that also makes Saleng shine because he double position Kulego.
Now that you mention it, actually, why did Chippa United only allow that 2v1? Because it actually, if you think about it, Umudise on the left-hand side for Chippa, on the right-hand side for Orlando Pirates, it is Dino van Rooyen overlapping is fantastic. And then Saleng as well. Why couldn't they then, whether it's Kongobe, whoever, just stand in front of your left back to make sure that you cover that 2v1? Because most of what happened for Orlando Pirates happened on the right-hand side. Yeah. The penalty came from the channel and many of the crosses that Dino van Rooyen was putting in as well. And also the isolation 1v1s as well, where Modise was allowing Saleng the space to work, to operate on his direction. Why wouldn't Chippa United look at that detail and say, we need someone to help that 2v1 there?
They played a 4-4-1-1, Kulego, which is, for me, it was a surprise as well. Because Craig Martin in the first half was on the right, but Ukongobi is more of a central midfielder. Yeah. But today they shifted him a little bit as a half winger. It wasn't a full winger. But for me, I think he was the one that was always late in Kulego. More especially with Utino. Utino is a very smart player. He's a very intelligent player, Utino. One of the best fullbacks we have in the country. What he does in Kulego with that detail is that every time when he comes in, he brings Ukongobe in as well. So every time, and then the passing precision. For me, they moved the ball a little bit slower, right? In some instances, or more especially in high pressure situation, taking it into a lower pressure zone, more especially when they go on the left. But on the right, passing precision, the ball moved a little bit quicker. So Dino doesn't take more than 3 or 4 touches.
No, he doesn't waste
No,
time.
no. It doesn't. Passing
doesn't waste
precision.
time.
Kulego, it's one touch, play the ball through to Saleng, and then either give him 2 options. It's either we are overlap or create a decoy run, or he comes in inside to create an extra midfield. So that's why for me, Saleng in the second half, more especially, was dangerous. I'm looking at players like Aborile today. The boy needs to be protected sometimes, more especially in a game load. Remember Orlando Pirates, this is another question that they need to answer this year. They are playing on Saturday, they have to play on Wednesday. It's something that they are not used to. Some of those players are not used to. That's why I need to mean they've got a lot of questions to answer, because there's so many games. The Orlando Pirates needs to perform. For me, the performance was inconsistent, but that might come from the fact that they were playing over the weekend.
And it's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning.
If they want to be African champions, they need to understand that this is going to be their life. And it's not just playing Wednesday and Saturday. It's traveling to another country, coming back in that period within 3 or 4 days, and be ready enough to play. And that's as it will unfold in the next 6 weeks, it will then answer that question in the next 6 weeks.
For me, Nkulego, that's a big question. I said the Orlando Pirates will be after the 6 games. But for me, the critical thing I might say to Orlando Pirates, always they approach the game in a 4-2-3-1. Nkulego. Undam, Sesane, Dab always plays well. It's always a 8 out of 10 in my opinion. Diono Hoto maybe a 6 out of 10 today. On and off, he came patches. Dino Van Rooyen, my man of the match in my opinion, to be honest with you, Nkulego. Unbelievable recovery, unbelievable tactical awareness, technique, ball player. He passing game, tactically very sound, but I think his best quality, Nkulego, is a recovery. Yeah, he's got incredible recovery. Nkulego, he's got an incredible recovery run. Played very, very well in my opinion. But I'm going to move into midfield, the Orlando Pirates, Nkulego. Umbata, the boy has been doing well. The boy is a progressive midfielder. I like the boy. Maybe there's certain things that he can work on in game. Obviously, he's not a perfect player. He's still a very young boy. I think he's 2021. There's room for improvement. I said to myself when I watch his game, I say, how many midfielders in the country are better than him? I struggle to even count 5 in my opinion. But I'm going to move Makaula.
That's debatable, but please continue with Makaula.
I'll start Makaula. More especially in a consolidation phase. In my opinion, the Pirates, the last piece of that puzzle, your Orlando Pirates, is them finding a top midfielder. More especially one that can play in between our 2 center backs. If you check an identical reference of the defensive midfielder they need was playing for the opposition team. Andile Jali in the first half. Uncle passing game.
He bossed them. He bossed them.
Unfit condition. We all know conditioning. I gotta be sharp, Uchal. Even the hamstring him shyly because of the distance that he had to cover. For me, the identity, I'm not saying they must go and get to Charlie, but the identity and the profile of the defensive midfielder they need, a lot of arrogance.
The piece of the puzzle that they need is on the other team.
In the other team. For me, a lot of arrogance. When you're playing for a big club, more especially in that position, hambulandi pole manzini. Ungasabu ngene manzini enkambini wami ulanda u10 and play a progressive pass. For me, uMakaula uyazifihla. I think this is his last big contract, and he plays like it's his last big contract. He's playing very safe, in my opinion. Playing very safe. Good midfielder, though. We don't want to discourage because what he done Gumazulu was top. But the Orlando Pirates is a different ball game.
Ordinarily, I would be disagreeing with you, but you are right. I think if you look at and scrutinize his performances over the last 6-12 months, it's not the same as when he was at Amazulu. Because when he was at Amazulu, we were saying, this platform would be saying, point me a better defensive midfielder than Makatleni Makaula at the time. Maybe Andile Jali was better than him, but it wasn't maybe in the top 3. But I think in the last 12 months, well, even in recent form, I can't disagree with that. As much as I love him, I can't disagree with that because Pirates need a defensive midfielder at the moment. It is not providing anything defensively and also playmaking as well. Let's look then forward to the meaning of this for Orlando Pirates. They get 3 points. They move on to the CAF Champions League as well. How important is it mentally for Orlando Pirates to get over the line? Because a draw would have felt like a loss for Orlando Pirates, even for the fans who are there, even for the fact that it's the first game of the season, the fact that Sundowns won, the fact that Kaizer Chiefs won as well, their first games. How important psychologically will this be? Last-minute winner.
I think this gives them unbelievable belief in Nkulego. Them doing this, they're not used to playing Saturday, Wednesday. For me, psychologically, it raises the level. I think some of the players also understand my expectations. Some of the players will also have to understand, Nkulego, that they have to perform in after 3 days. They're going to have to perform week in, week out, and then 8 in Nkulego. I'm looking at players like Abotito, though that's the mentality that they're going to have to deploy very quickly. The young Rilem Fukeng as well. That's the mentality that he's going to have to deploy, that he is going to have to be consistent. In 7 days 2 games, he's going to have to be consistent. For me, I'm looking at a player like Utito. For me, he's discouraged by whatever the Uchomosono said, to be honest with you. I don't know why we are very harsh on the ball. Can we allow the boy just to play football? I feel that the boy is playing under pressure unnecessary. The boy was doing so well. You know what I mean when I call it? But for me, I'm looking individual players. They've got Thomas. Pirates has quality. Orlando Pirates has quality. And they've got depth.
Quality starting lineup?
Quality starting lineup, I'm going there. They've got a quality starting lineup.
Are you also saying the squad is good enough? Can they change that lineup?
I'm going there. They've got a very, very strong starting lineup. They've got maybe 15 top players, in my opinion. But for me, they've got depth, but the depth has so many average players. You look at the boy, Obuyagu Obit. I said he was wearing number 10. I praised him last season in the second division. Is he a quality of a player that can win Orlando Pirates the league? Is he a quality of a player that can win Orlando Pirates CAF? For me, no.
The answer is no, obviously.
The answer is no. For me, there's so many players that I look at and I say to myself, I don't want to bring Sundowns into this conversation.
Even Radio Pane, I mean, we're not talking about his talent and ability now.
Yeah.
Is he a proven player to have won a league before, to have won a CAF Champions League before? And no. The answer is no for now. When they're replacing Mabasa with Radio Pane, will he be able to carry them forward to the league? And the answer is no. And that then brings the question to the depth. They've got a very good, they have the best, second best squad in the country
for sure.
After Sundowns. And they have maybe one of the best starting 11s even in Africa. But then do they have the depth to be able to carry them in both competitions?
For me, the depth is there, but the quality is not there, in my opinion. Too many average players, in my opinion. Because the question that even Orlando Pirates fans should ask them is, will these players deliver the league title? If the answer is no, then those players don't deserve to be there. Secondly, it's Orlando Pirates needs international players. You cannot be an attacking midfielder with Orlando Pirates, Chiefs, Sundowns, a winger, a forward player, and you are not a national team player. That is something that I will forever criticize. These are big clubs for the benefit of our junior national teams where to Endi Bafana Bafana. We need international players. For me, Saleng, he raised his hand. And he's been raising his hand. For me, is one that I would say he deserves to be in the national team. But maybe speaking about the Chippa Gangan, I always say in South Africa, we bring development coaches into our senior football. Ukwanele Kop has developed some incredible football players, in my opinion. He needs to prove himself in the PSL. For me, I look at the game plan. I am saying to myself, last season they were playing too many diagonal balls, too many deep passes.
Yeah, maybe they were specialists in long throws.
Yeah, because I think it's also because of the profile of striker they have. You know, they always have to use the profile.
But seemingly they are now doing a U-turn from that to now starting to play, which brings a question as to who inspired what happened today, because they tried to play today in the first half, but it's different from what they were doing last season.
To be honest with you, Ukwanele Kop, even at Supersport, he's a ball-playing coach, he's a maximalist by nature. But for me, I'm looking at the profile of players that he has at Chippa. Maybe they don't suit the style of play that he wants to play. I think we are fault, because you can tell some of the defenders at the back, they're not really comfortable on the ball. Maybe Umdi is comfortable. The boy, Mukele, who I felt had an incredible game from the other side at Chippa. He could have been a man of the match as well. Who won so many jewels, won so many balls, boxing like I think the centre back as well. But I'm looking at the two double midfielder. That's the influence. That's what sets a game plan. Machokoro and Andile. That makes the game model because those are ball players, very comfortable on the ball. They hardly ever lose the ball. Look at both of them. They control the game. They are obsessed. I think they are obsessed. Tuchali is obsessed with control. He's a midfielder that loves control.
But he can't do it alone.
No, he can't.
They're going to need some quality. If that's the Chippa that they have, I think if they can, I mean, the quality in the Betway Premiership is questionable. We always say that. So if they can play as if they're playing Orlando Pirates every game, they'll win more games than they lose, or they will win more games than they draw, and they can find themselves maybe in the top 10, I think. But not necessarily doing anything special for them. It's a commendable performance, and I'm sure as well that they will be very disappointed with the loss in the last
No, they will, for sure. I saw the coach. I think he spoke about the fact that Orlando Pirates started playing well in the last 15 minutes. I felt, in my opinion, a draw would have been a fair result. Played well. I love the game plan. Wait for your Orlando Pirates a little bit and then start playing when you have the ball. I love that because, yes, you can consolidate. But when it's an opportunity to play, can at least usibonisa something? I saw something from today. I saw an idea. And some of the things that I saw from Chippa United, I really enjoyed watching. But credit to Orlando Pirates, credit to Saleng for scoring that goal. The boy has been raising his hand.
All right, there you are. Thank you very much to Lindo Pep. Thank you very much to you guys as well for watching our videos. iDiskiTV, Times, or Sports Betting. Thank you for watching us.